caught in the crossfire. It's caught in the...
Hey, good morning everyone. I'm over here at Jerry's Auto Electric, gonna drop off the alternator. Hey everyone, man, it's Eric back at Auto Replay, man, and picking up a rental to go see my mom. It's Friday, about to be going to go to Tampa to go see my mom for 3 days, spend some time with her, just talk, just relax, take out to eat, and we'll see what happens. But I'm over here at Enterprise Rental Car. I actually I've been using their rentals for the past few years, and I haven't got some in the last year or so, but I had some points for a free day, so I figured I might as well go ahead and get the rental car from them instead of going from Turo. So right now I'm parking my work van back in their little lot, and I got this Volkswagen, they say a Tiguan SUV, so I got a pretty cool little upgrade. It was actually cheaper than the Turo. Turo would have probably cost me a little bit more, especially with insurance and all that. So I went ahead and got this SUV, got everything insured, so I ain't got to worry about nothing. I got my little bag in it, and we're going to take it for a road test and see how it rides. So let's flip the camera around and go from there. All right, so here's a little SUV got for rental, and they said that little scratches and stuff on the bumper, okay, because it's got a little scratch right there, and it's got plenty of truck room. Everything looks clean for the body. Tires in decent shape. I think the front one was a little bit wore out, and there's no scratches here. This one looked a little wore out, but I think that'd be fine. The body's good. He said that anything that has a dent like bigger than like this bottle cap, probably like another inch around, they will charge for, so I ain't got to worry about that. And there's like this little thing here right there, so this is what it looks like before when I picked it up. And let's take a look inside. It's got a beautiful interior. One thing I like about getting it from a rental car place is that you do get a clean vehicle, man. Besides, you don't get no car mats. Oh look, I ain't got disinfectant wipes. That's pretty cool. Look at that, they put in some Clorox disinfectant wipes, so I can actually disinfect the car. Comes with a nice little screen right there. I don't know what year this is. What year is this? Should say it somewhere. Oh, it says it probably right here, right? If I can find it. It's 2021, so it's a newer car. And I'll show you the trunk real quick. It's got a lot of space, man. I mean, I got my one little bag in there and some shoes for now. So that's what I get. So let's go for a road trip. Yeah, so far, man, the seat's pretty comfy, man. I mean, it's like a newer car. It kind of reminds me of like a little Honda Accord or something like that, or in the screen. Okay, so it's got like a little push button start. Guess you put your foot, start up. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, look at this. It's cool. It's comfy, man. I mean, it's not a full-size SUV, but this is comfy. So I'm gonna go ahead and connect my phone to the Bluetooth, and then I'm gonna start getting me something to eat, and we're gonna go for a little trip. Oh yeah, it's got power seats, man, so tilt, this is, everything's power in here, power mirror right there. So that's cool. It's got the Bluetooth, I could talk hands-free. So I'm gonna set that up so I could chill and talk, man. Hey, so I'm back in Tallahassee after visiting my mom, and this thing drives really nice. It definitely has a turbocharger in it. Me and my buddy looked at it, and it's quick, fun to drive, and go on to the next one. I got a call from Jerry's. They said that the alternator is ready. I'm gonna go pick that up tomorrow, and then we'll be ready to go, man. We'll see about getting that Infinity G25 fixed and get it cleaned out and actually get it driving, okay? Back on the 2011 Infinity G25, and just got the alternator back from Jerry's Auto Electric. Chris, you want to say hi? You want to say hi?
Hello.
That's Chris back there, the owner. And got the alternator down here on the ground. We're going to put it back in, man, and I hope everybody's doing good. Thanks for watching this, but here's the alternator, and it looks like this is one of the parts they replaced. Is, I guess, made a rectifier or something. I don't know. But it took them about 3 or 4 days because they had to actually order the part and all this and that. And then I went out of town for Mother's Day, so you know, now I just picked it up today, and it was actually cheaper. It was $124 versus the $144 they quoted me, so that's pretty good. You know, they actually saved $25 in my opinion. But I'm just glad it costs less than getting the actual remanufactured for $230 or $300 or $500. So anyway, we're gonna slap this back in. This is the positive wire. This bolts through the chassis or the block. It's the plug right there that I think the ECU was tell it to charge on and off. And there should be, I think, these 2 bolts back here that you put the bracket back on that holds the little hose and whatnot. So we're gonna slap it back in. Take this alternator, I'm gonna put it down in there. I think the way I did it, I kind of snaked it around all this. So we're gonna go through here and do it. Okay, we're gonna snake this in here. Have this go this way. I think I might just set that right there for now. Just put this back in its place and try not to hit this radiator. Tear that up. Did I go underneath all this? Okay. Yeah, I can't wait to see this thing dry, man. Alright, so we gotta slap this back in there. You gotta see exactly where it's gotta go. Okay, it goes right here. So we're gonna slap this back right in there, and then work on plugging all this back in too. Yeah, get this going. Slide that back there. You're gonna wiggle it. Come on. So here's that bolt right there. It's gonna go in there. I think that I put this back here. This is the other bolt that goes in front of it. We'll set that there for now. Okay, it's gonna slide right there. I didn't think I needed to take these out, but these are going back in there. Pull this radiator in place. Lock that back in place. See, I can't tell if I'm on it or not. Do you see like how far off I am? I don't want to go past it. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, I'm close. I just need a screwdriver. Take a screwdriver, slide in there, and work it. I'm very close. I could take a screwdriver to it.
What is it? What is it that you're doing?
I gotta get the hole lined up with the engine, with the block.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I don't know how far off I am. There we go. There we go. She's like, you gotta run it? I just got there.
That's the $800 bolt right there.
Yeah. If I would have had to run it, I've been done with this thing already. There we go. There. Whew. They hung Well, yeah, that's the hard part, just getting this alternator back on. Alright, I just gotta find the 2 bolts for that. And then there's a bolt, I guess, on the bottom of this that holds that down there. Let me see. I guess this goes like this somehow. Alright, we're gonna throw these 2 little bolts that hold on to the back of the bracket of the alternator on. Alright, the 2 little bolts on the back take a 5/16. I'm gonna hand tighten these up first. Alright, so I was able to get a wrench down here. Y'all can see that. 5/16 wrench to get on the back. I started both of the bolts down there and just kind of hand tighten them. That's the only way I know how to really get back there. So I have the alternator on it with 1 bolt going through it. I have the plug plugged in, and then I'm doing the 2 little bolts on the bracket. Once I get those 2 tight, then I'll go ahead and get the positive cable tightened up. And then there was something else about another bolt on the front of the alternator I gotta figure out. Don't get me wrong, you know. All right, the back of the positive cable is a 12mm. I'm just gonna slide a positive cable. I got this nut off, and thank God the auto repair rebuild service, they kept that nut on there because I didn't need it. I'm gonna slide this cable, and then y'all can see that, over this thing here, and I'm gonna slide it on there and get it right in place. It's like a little notch. And then you slide this on. It's kind of cool. It's got a little split wire nut on it. And you just peel this rubber piece back. You can see it. And slide it on there. I'm just going to hand tighten it. And then we'll tighten up with a ratchet or wrench or something. Here we go, and that's where I'm tightening up. Me and Chris over here having some jokes about Japanese and German. And they run away high, and then they take over countries. Anyway, 12, that's a joke, y'all. 12mm bolt on the bottom bracket. I loosened, there's another bolt. Y'all can see way down here. That helps y'all out, because I can't see nothing down there. But anyway, yeah, there's that bracket. There's a 12mm here and one on there on the back on the alternator. And then I went ahead and tightened this one up. That's a 14mm, that one right there. So we're knocking that out, man, getting it together. Gonna put the belt on, man, slide it on, then we're gonna tighten the tensioner. Belt wraps around the power steering, around the alternator, and then comes up on this idler tensioner, and then goes around the crank pulley. So that's the correct way. We're going to tighten it up. We went ahead and tightened up the 12mm bolt that's on the bottom of this. And you want to get enough where you don't want it too tight, but you want a little deflection in the belt, you know what I mean? So I think that's probably good. We're going to try it out like that. We're going to tighten up this bolt here, and then we're going to start putting in the fan shroud and everything. Go ahead. That's a 14mm right there. Get my good old Cobalt tools right there instead of them Walmart tools you got over there. Man, we about broke the car with them Walmart tools, bro. Them things should be banned from the USA. You know? They need to be, you use some kind of tools for mopeds. Or maybe bicycles or something, not for a car. So, got that tight. Get out of there. I think we're ready to go ahead and put in the fan shroud. So I may take all these bolts that I got sitting in here and slide it in place. We could go ahead and plug it in. So let's go ahead and do that. I think that'd be fun. So we're gonna grab this, try not to too much up, and it looks like it goes like this, I think. Yeah, it goes like that. Yeah. Slide it in here. So I'm gonna need 2 hands to put this in. Joker kind of down in place. Man, can they make it any tighter? Oh, God, how do you get this in here? Like this. think I had to kind of go like that a little bit. There we go. Trying not to screw up the radiator that's already in here. You don't want to mess up the fins, even though I did kind of bend one of them, but it'd be all right. Can't be perfect, right? All right, go down in there. There we go. It's kind of like, what's that? You remember that game show with Bob Barker and that little Plinko, man? It's kind of like working Plinko. You know what I'm saying? Like that little thing that goes. So I guess. Oh, there's something that bolts on here. I don't know. It's somewhere around here. Okay, that's this. That bolt's right there. So I think, yeah, let's go ahead and take these out, these two, and then we'll leave the other two in place, and we'll bolt this in. So basically there's two little slots that this slides in on the bottom. Y'all can see that, but they're way down there. It's like one slot right here. There's another slot down there. Probably can't see it, it's getting too dark. But basically gonna pick this up and slide it into place. So you get the bottom in there nice and snug. Should fit like that in its place, and then basically you just line it up and you put, I got the bolt here, and we got another one right here. You want to check it out. Basically it's bolting in, man. So if my removal video is terrible, you could just look at the install video. Should be a lot better. So these are 10 millimeters. We're gonna go ahead and tighten those up. We'll get this harness over here, and we'll plug that in, and we'll put the two bolts for this to go right there, and make sure we snap all these in place or zip tie them in place so it doesn't hit this belt, because that'd be a bad thing. So let's get some tools. So I think this is like it might be a coolant temperature sensor or something. I don't know. I'm gonna slide that right there. Tighten this up too. Went ahead and got these two tight. And then we're gonna plug this harness back in. We're gonna put the radiator hose back on. I think we'll, once we get the air box, the two air vents in, we could crank it up and maybe take it for a test drive. And you gotta put the little plastic shield on the bottom on too. So it should work. It should work. I'm hoping to God it should work. It should dry like normal. Get my fast wrench going here. We're gonna have to get some more coolant. Alright, so radiator hose, looks like it slides on. I guess we'll slide this on here first. On this side, kind of just work me. Whoa! Losing y'all. Work it on. There we go. And then we'll work it over here. We'll get channel locks and clamp it on, and we'll fill it back up later. We haven't lost that much. So we'll slide it on like that. And we'll take some channel locks and alright, so just take the channel locks, open them up a little bit, and basically just grab it. Like that, and just go down here. So you slide it on. Slide it right back in this place. So one there, and do the same over here. Just grab it. Work in there. Just wiggle it just a little bit. Wiggle it just a little bit. All right, so hose is on there. We're gonna slide the this is the coolant reservoir stuff. Put that back in this place. Looks like that just sits right here. So those two bolts go. So this is why it's so important, so important. Just like this hose goes down through the radiator down like that. It's so important to keep your bolts in the right place so you know how to put them back. Because that way it's no question about, oh, which bolt goes where? Well, it's right here. I mean, it's pretty simple stuff. And then the hose just pops in the radiator shroud. So we're gonna put a bolt here, and put a bolt there. It's definitely easier going back in, I think. Because everything's loose. Inside my hand is just kind of pop this hose back in this place. Y'all want to see it? It's one hose right here. This is right, it slides in right there. And then another one slides in. Alright. And now we're gonna tighten this up. Yeah, almost. Yeah, I'm gonna put the air box in and then we can crank it up and make sure it works. So, yeah, check this out. Chris wanted me to use these big old channel locks right here. I'm like, no, come on. I mean, come on, man.
Channel lock.
All right, we're gonna put this air box in here, and then we pop that back in its place, and do the other side. Take that bolt out. Oh yeah, yeah.
This here.
Yeah. Okay.
Dude.
Hey, tell me where you found that from.
I found this actually in the ground, about a foot underground.
Yeah.
Just walking around one day, and this little handle was sticking up. Dug it out. I don't know how old it is.
So basically, Chris is over here on the northeast side of Tallahassee. He over here where all the rich folk live. Okay, they got money. Okay, well, they got money over here compared to what my side. All right.
I don't know.
But anyway, back here used to be the main road going to Thomasville, Georgia. Over here right now is the main road. Well, you can't see it, but that way. But it used to be back here. So what do you say, like 1940s and 50s and all that? People used to travel.
No, actually, it got
Where back?
further back. It was in the 1800s. I think they changed the road in the early 1900s, maybe, to the front
Oh, okay.
of our property. Before this was a property, I guess. But yeah, about 120 years ago, that was behind our house was Thomasville Road. So we find a lot of stuff.
Yeah, Chris has found like all this stuff, man, in his backyard. Looks like weights for some kind of, maybe pulley system here.
Yeah, those are old window weights.
Window weights. These are window weights right here.
Counterweights. The windows.
Yeah. So he's got this old, what you call that thing? That
Old kettle.
kettle, yeah. He's got that. All these old bottles, man. He was showing me the other day. Oops. Like, this is a Cocoa bottle. That's not too old, but what was this? This is Listerine right here. That's pretty cool. We could have fixed the alternator right here with this. We could have took it over there to Jerry's, man. He'd be like, all right.
Yeah, still good.
Yeah. I was like, I'm glad y'all still here. I wasn't making fun. I was just like, I'm really glad y'all still here. Here, ooh, this has got water in it. But this is salt, I think, shaker.
Salt shaker.
Yeah.
So that's a Clorox bottle over there, that brown one.
Oh, right here?
Yeah.
Oh, that's old Clorox. Oh, look at there. Yeah, look at that. If anybody's interested in that stuff, you can hit Chris up. He'll buy it, right? He'll sell it. All right, so this looks like this just slides in place here like that. You should feel the click. We'll leave it loose so we can put this air intake boot back on it. All right, so we're gonna plug this in here. Here to click. Basically, it's gonna try not to screw this over. Slide that back on, and then we're gonna slide this back on there too. Like, when you gonna slow down there? I don't know, man. When I'm dead. Well, you gotta think I had 4 days off. I was sitting with my mom's, just hanging with her. So like this time, yeah, I'm ready to get it, man. I'm ready to go. So 5/16 nut driver. Go ahead. I'm just gonna start streaming my life. Y'all could just catch me on Facebook Live. You know.
Calling you saying I've taken everything out.
Oh, that'd been terrible. You gonna take everything out?
I don't know where anything goes.
That'd been bad. I would be like, I don't know either, man. You the one took it apart. I only know because I took it apart. All right, I forgot to slide this back on. I don't think I had to take all this apart, all these bolts here and all this out. So if you're referencing the removal, do not take all this apart and all these bolts and all this, okay? You don't need to do that. Okay, that was extra. How do I say extra? You didn't need to take all this out. Okay, sorry.
Just edit all that.
All right, so I think we're at the point where we can actually hook up the battery post. Dr. Chris says we're good to go.
Yep, it's solid.
It's solid. Okay, you know, hey, you know, some of these boats are like this, some of these boats are like that. They look a little different, but hey, it's gonna work. And I still gotta put I gotta put a couple of these up to hold it before we drive it, but that's okay. So everything looks like it's back in place. I really, really hope to God that it is. I'll just try to crank it over one slowly, very, very slowly. It'll probably crank right up, man. We're gonna see. This is the test of the whole video to see if it actually runs on its own. So let's do the positive battery post and negative, and we'll tighten it up. Get a 10 millimeter. We'll get a short one, and then go from there. Go ahead, pop this on there. Try not to blow myself up. Okay, there's wheel. All right, here we go. I'm gonna tighten this up ever so gently. And we're gonna crank it. Yeah, I'm gonna try to crank it with just the battery. Don't ever hit this with the ground. You'll blow up. This is like probably 600, 700, 800 amps, and you can get hurt by hitting that positive with anything else. Isn't there like a cover that goes over that? Mm-hmm. Okay. Eventually we need to put a cover on it, but
I don't know what I did with it.
Yeah, he got it right there. So we ain't gotta worry about it right now, right? We're gonna run that test.
That's just for sure.
To see if I remember how this car went back together. Besides that little plastic shit, we put that on because it's getting dark, man. It's getting very dark. Don't look that dark, but it's getting dark. So we're gonna try it out and see what happens. Is the key still in it? Okay. I'm gonna just try to push the button in, man. Yeah, good. Clean it out of it.
The light's not even on.
All right. Well, let's pull this car. I'm gonna get this car some jumper cables. All right, so we went ahead and got my work van jumper cables to this Infiniti. Please make sure you got your negative to your negative. Use the negative smaller. It's black. Same over here. Negative is negative. Smaller cable, positive, it's got more stuff on it. Double check that before you hook up any car. So we're gonna go ahead and touch this and make sure that goes this way. Don't fall down. All right, we got juice, we got lights. Oh snap. It's coming alive. See if it's gonna run. It did, didn't it? Hope the thing doesn't lock up. It's not a good connection. I didn't blow a fuse, did I? That's right? I mean, that's positive.
Yeah, but on the negative side, it's hung up on the plastic part.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's biting it now. Okay, there we go. Make sure you got a good connection, y'all. All right, we're gonna see if this thing gonna run. Put my foot on the brake. Make sure this door don't close. And we have a lift off. Hey, the battery light's not on. I'm gonna take it off, see if it'll run without it. The battery light's not on. I don't know, dude.
Oh, so like getting out of the car without the key?
I guess. Oh yeah, that might be what it is. This is the point that we knew we had a bad alternator. We took this red cable off here and this car died. So we're gonna test it out. Car runs! She's alive! We have a good car now. All right, we're gonna put this down here. We're gonna let it run, man. Put a couple bolts on this fan shroud and she should be ready to go. Oh yeah.